Everyone knows Michael Jordan is the best player of all time, and I know that'll spark some controversy, but I put him over LeBron just due to how talented he was defensively. So without further ado, let's break down his defense. First, we have to start with his own ball defense. Jordan was a master at doing a crossover step, which is a move that involves crossing one leg over the other. Most coaches say you shouldn't cross your feet, but in reality, every elite defender does it. Players often do the crossover step when beating off the dribble in order to catch up. But what's unique about this possession is Jordan actually did it to put him in perfect position for a steal, which is something I don't think I've ever seen anyone do. Then watch him switch onto a big and perform the crossover step again, but this time he actually comes away with the steal. This defensive technique is insane to watch, because sure, I see players in the NBA do the crossover step every single game, but he uses it in more ways than one. The amount of foot speed and understanding of angles you need to pull this off is crazy, but this is why I personally think he is the most skilled defender ever. On this possession, I already love how he's in a low stance with his hands out by his side. Then he's able to power through that screen and is now in position to defend out in space. Here again, he does the crossover step to get the angle on the ball handler. And being able to hand check back then just made him 10 times the defender, because he was so strong that even just relaxing his hand on you was enough to bother anyone. Here he does the crossover step again in order to put himself in position to get the on-ball steal. I can't stress enough just how insane this is, and I'm not exaggerating either. Go to your local park or gym and try to do this. I'm willing to bet any amount of money you won't be able to do it. The amount of time and footwork, agility, and confidence you will need to pull this off is something most of us don't have. This possession just shows how dominant he would have been on defense even in today's NBA. When he sees the screen coming, he closes the distance between him and the ball handler. Then he just simply turns and runs and stays disciplined, not jumping for the pump fake, and ended up getting a block. And I said this showed how dominant he would be in today's NBA because we all know screens have been set more than ever. So being able to get around them is crucial. The best players in the NBA at navigating screens are Jaden McDaniels, Dillon Brooks, and Drew Holiday, to name a few. And without that ability to navigate through screens, they wouldn't be half of the defenders they are today. What really made Jordan such a great on-ball defender was his ability to accelerate and decelerate and change direction at moment's notice.
Key matchup, Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas. Can Isaiah beat him off the dribble? He's trying. Maguire, wherever he goes. Thomas for the concentration. Dumars for the Pistons. This is a roar down in there. Dumars impacts it.
The next part of his defense was his active hands, and this was just as impressive as his ability to lock you down on the perimeter. Here he's able to poke the ball away twice by swiping up at the ball. Jordan's hands were always active. Here he swiped at the ball 3 times before getting the block. Keeping your hands this active puts a lot of mental pressure on the ball handler, because instead of worrying about scoring or making the right pass, he's now overly concerned about getting the ball taken away. And when the ball handler feels uncomfortable, they make bad mistakes, such as forcing a shot over Jordan. Here he waits for Magic to use the screen. Then he times the steal perfectly. This just shows how insane his anticipation was. Instead of fighting over the screen, he knew exactly where Magic would have the ball and took the risk. He did this often too. He knew exactly when a player was going to turn, and again, his time and anticipation was just on another level. Like his former teammate BJ Armstrong said, he was a defensive player who just happened to be really good on offense too. But that'll be all for today's video. Let me know if y'all want a part 2. We can go into further detail on how he defended bigger players, among other things.